Hi, Tanya. Welcome back.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
Good, good. Before we get started, I want to just clarify that anything that you do say to me, this room is a safe zone, confidentiality, but as a mandated reporter, that I wouldn't need to report anything such as abuse, any thoughts of suicide, any, do you understand that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I understand.
Okay,
Yeah.
any abuse. So because I'm a mandate reporter, I would need to report that. But so as we had talked about last week, we talked about the definition of CBT therapy.
Yeah.
So I thought that this week during this session, I'd like to explain what cognitive errors are and why they're important. Okay. So cognitive errors are actually important, especially in CBT therapy. And there's actually 10 of them, and I was just going to go over this list with you. And please stop me if you have any questions or concerns.
Okay.
Or you need any clarification in any way. So the cognitive errors are pretty much negative thoughts. Remember last week when I talked about the merry-go-round, where you were just thinking, you had to get off that merry-go-round of thinking negative thoughts. And I also explained that we cannot always, there's always situations and events that happen in our lives, but the things that we can change are our thoughts and our feelings and our behavior towards the events and situations. And that's called reframing. And so we're reframing our thoughts into healthier thoughts, not so negative. And we want to get off that merry-go-round and we want to think more positive. Okay?
Sure.
So these cognitive errors are those negative thoughts that we may have or experience, and that actually make us go on the merry-go-round to begin with. So the first one is the all or nothing thinking. So this is basically a person who has that mindset of having black and white. It's yes or no, go or stop. For instance, if someone gets an A in a class, it's either an A or a failure. There is no letter in between. And it's their performance. If their performance falls short just slightly and it's not perfect, that's a failure to them.
Wow.
So do you ever experience that?
I actually do. Like, maybe not to that extreme, like but it is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't get that perfect score,
perfect
you
performance,
think,
then
I could have did this and been better, or
so
you kind of kick yourself, like.
yes, that perfect score, that perfect event, everything just needs to be perfect in their lives.
So I kind of get that. Yeah.
Okay. Overgeneralization, it's basically when you see a single negative event and it's a pattern. You see that negativity as a pattern of defeat. You see it as basically, because I'm shy, I will never get a boyfriend. I'll never get a husband because I am the way I am. This is how it's always going to be. Or this is basically, you're making something that is so small into something so big. And so you're overgeneralizing. You're overthinking.
Right.
Okay? I can't find a boyfriend, so I'm never going to get married. Because I did poorly in a test, I'm never going to graduate. So you're taking something so big as graduation, and you're not going to experience that because you may have failed one test. Okay? Does that make sense?
It's getting there. Yeah.
Okay. Third one is mental filler. So this is basically where you take one negative experience and you blacken the whole event because of that one experience. Say you go to a wedding. Everyone's been to weddings. And say you didn't enjoy your dinner. your dinner came out cold. Just didn't like the service, you didn't like the wedding, you did not like the dinner, your dinner. Okay, well, you get in the car, and next thing you know, you cannot think of anything positive about that wedding because that wedding has been tainted with your mental filler of my dinner was cold, the air condition wasn't turned on, I was hot. Like, you're just taking that one event and you're just darkening the reality of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and can you also think that they did that all on purpose? Did they serve that food cold?
Exactly.
On purpose.
Exactly.
They didn't put the air on cold
They did
enough.
not.
So
they did not do that on purpose. It was not purposely done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I can relate.
You
to
can
that.
relate to the mental filler.
Yes.
I believe we all can. Yes. Yes. So you're taking out that single event and you're dwelling on it excessively. Okay.
Yeah.
So disqualifying the positive. Oh, we all do that, and myself included. And sometimes gives you. Let's just say it's pretty easy. This is an easy one. Somebody gives you a compliment, but you can't take that compliment because you weren't feeling that compliment. You can't see that compliment.
Right.
Oh, Tanya, you look really nice today. And you think, oh, but no, I don't.
Yeah, my hair's a mess.
My hair's a mess. Oh, God, my hair is a mess. my teeth, I didn't get a chance to brush my teeth. I look a hot mess.
People say things
so you just
to be nice.
You just can't find that positive. So you're taking that positivity that somebody just gave you, and you're just putting it to the wayside.
Yeah.
And you don't even. It's not that you don't even believe them. You're not even listening. Okay. Jumping to conclusions. Oh yes, jumping to conclusions. We've all done that, and there's two of them. There's called mind reading, and then there's also fortune telling. Now, mind reading is, let's just say you were at that wedding, and you walked up to a long distant relative, and that relative automatically turns their back to you, and you think, that person doesn't like me. What did I ever do to them? I didn't do anything to them.
They turned away.
They turned away from me. When in reality, maybe they just didn't see you. So you're mind reading that person did not like you. That relative does not like you because that relative turned their back on you.
But you could be wrong.
Yes.
You could be perceiving it.
You're perceiving it wrong. Now, fortune telling. Let's say you got that invitation to the wedding in the mail. This is before the wedding even began. And you have that crystal ball, and you turn to your partner and you say, I don't even know why I want to go. I guess it's probably not going to be good. I'm probably not going to have fun. Without even giving that event a chance, you've already disqualified that as a negative event that you're going to be going to. I don't know why I'm getting all dressed or buying a dress, because you see the negativity of that event, and it didn't even take place yet.
That is kind of sad.
And so that's fortune telling. An event hasn't even happened yet, and whereas mind reading is more of a person. That person must not like me. That person turned their back on me, and maybe, like I said, that person didn't even see you.
And the other one's kind of dreading an event or an experience.
Exactly, or an event or a situation. Do these make sense?
Yeah, it is. It is starting to.
Good.
It's clicking. Yeah.
Good. The next one is magnification or minimization. Sorry, they do not roll off my tongue very easily, so I'm sorry. So magnification is basically you're exaggerating. You can't even say this word. You're just exaggerating the situation. You're making that little mountain out of a molehill, making a mountain out of a molehill.
I know that saying.
Okay? So you're basically exaggerating the situation to the point where it's like, it's not that bad. Oh my God, I got a rip in my dress. My dress is a mess. Oh my God, that person cut me out in traffic. And oh my, like everything is that oh my with an exclamation point.
Right.
Okay? And so that's bad because, well, that's not very healthy to think like that.
It could ruin your day.
You're basically
sure.
living in an exclamation point world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Highly stressful.
Highly stressful.
Yeah.
Now, minimization, you're minimizing a situation that took effect. Okay, for instance, this is one. Do you remember Bill Clinton and his famous line?
President.
And he said, "I did not have sex with that woman."
I thought you were going to say, "I didn't inhale." That was such BS. That was minimization.
That is
exclamation.
Yes,
exclamation.
that
exclamation.
Yes, he minimized it.
Yeah, instead of owning up.
Instead of owning up. Yes.
I don't like when people do that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They make something that they don't take their own behavior and they don't own up to it.
Yeah.
They make it very small. Another one would be, say, a DUI. Get pulled over for DUI and your friend says to you, "I wasn't drunk. I only was buzzed. I wasn't drunk." They're not owning up to their situation. Mm-hmm. They're minimizing it. Emotional reasoning. So basically this one is you're taking your negative emotions and because this is how I feel, this is how it's going to be. Mm-hmm. Oh, I just know I'm going to fail that test because this is how I feel it's going to be. I know I'm not going to have fun at that wedding because I can feel it. It's like that fight or flight feeling. You're always on go. Mm-hmm. Oh, not going to work. Yeah. The hairs in the neck stand up and it's, nope, I feel it. So this is true. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the paper so I don't miss any. So the should statements. Now, we've all experienced these as well. This is, I should never have eaten that cheeseburger.
Right.
Why did I do that? I am such a loser.
I always feel that way after eating fast food. Like, why did you do that? Why?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And they're the should statements. So you motivate yourself with the shoulds and should nots. I should not have done that. I just should not have done that. I'm such a loser. How will anybody ever love me? I am the loser of the losers. I should never have said that to my husband. I am not a good wife. Not at all. Because I said that to my husband, not a good wife at all. Labeling and mislabeling. Now, this one is an extreme form of overgeneralization.
Okay.
And this, you can use colorful words. And you label people that perhaps you don't even know. That person that cut you out in the traffic lane, you have every word for them.
Oh, yeah.
You entitle a person who thinks that they own the road. There's a lot of
bullies on the road.
Bullies on the
big
road.
Vehicles.
And those, yes.
Yes, I think that in my head.
Yes, that negative thought of that person. And you may not even know that person.
Right,
and you've already labeled that person. You've already labeled that person as the meanest, most evil person in the world. And last but not least is personalization. Sadly, did you ever watch the show This Is Us?
No,
I
haven't.
Okay, well, there's a character on the show, and his name is Jack, and he runs into a burning house to save his daughter's dog. Okay, and he dies. Okay, sadly. The daughter is now like in her 30s, and she has personalized that situation that happened when she was a young teenager as it was her fault. Her father passed away because she asked him to run into the house to save her dog. And because of that, she personalized her father's death as the reason or the cause,
even though she wasn't to blame.
Even though it was not for her to blame. She did not cause the fire. You know, sometimes sadly things happen. She did not control that situation.
I would agree. That was out of her control.
It was out of her control. So these are the cognitive errors. And do you have any questions or concerns for that?
I guess, yeah, like, is it so important to learn all of these, or just, like, it's a lot to learn?
It is a lot to learn. But these will actually help you have healthier thoughts. When you know and you can change these small thoughts, you can change your behavior. And when you change your behavior, thinking more positively or healthier, you will be able to be happier and perhaps think more optimistically instead of so negative.
I'm so pessimistic.
So
this could change my thought patterns for real?
Exactly. So if you have a situation, say before we meet again, I'd like you to pick out one situation or one event that you had no control over of that event. And I want you to tell me next time that we meet, how did that make you feel?
Right.
What were you thinking at that moment? How were your thoughts?
Okay.
And how can you change those thoughts to being more possibly positive thoughts or adaptive thoughts or realistic thoughts? Like the woman who may turn her back on you at the wedding. Possibly she didn't know that you were even there.
She might be hard of seeing or deaf.
Exactly.
I mean,
you don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. So, do they make sense?
They do. I was relating to quite a few of them.
They're actually, once you understand them, they're actually fun to think like, oh, I'm thinking like this.
This is what I'm doing. I'm jumping to conclusions.
I'm jumping to conclusions.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what I'm doing. I am emotionally reasoning this event. This is how I feel, so this must be true. Does this make sense?
Yeah, your examples helped me understand it.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you, and I hope to see you next time.
Yeah, I'll be here next time.
Thank you.